Solitaire. Tonight, as you can see, we have some Cheez-It grooves with the 7-11 deck. Very simple and sweet on both ends, so I hope your day has been well and you're ready to relax, play some Solitaire. If you enjoy these videos, let me know. Also, if you have any suggestions, please feel free. I know different snacks create different sounds, textures, which can be a little more pleasant, aggressive, soft, anywhere on that spectrum. So let me know. But besides that, please get yourselves nice and comfy, and let's get ready for our first game of the night. Now, I've had these Cheez-Its here for a while, and I didn't really know when to use them. But I figured with our most recent types of snacks and Solitaire videos that they'd be a little more fitting. And with the 7-11 deck, I think it is also fitting. Because how many of us have gone to a convenience store, liquor store, 7-Eleven, gas station, whatever you call it, and gotten some late night snacks? And sometimes, for those who do it a little more than others, get something you usually wouldn't get. Now this is something I would never get, so I think it'd be fun. So Cheez-It grooves. I'll save you the hassle of listening to some loud noises, so a quick cut and they will be plated. Alright, we have our crackers, so let's get into them. They look much darker than I would imagine, but maybe that's just because they're next to a very white deck. Those are much drier than I thought they would be. But I'm not upset. A decent flavor. Not quite what I was expecting. Also, much crunchier. I think that's a plus. Typically, I like softer foods. Well, not really, but not as an aggressive of a crunch is a better way of putting it. But with the way these things are constructed with their flavor, it's complimentary. Not sure if I'd ever buy them again, though. But we'll see as we go through. Let's get through this first round before we get anything else, as we already have our first fat stack of the night. So good sign there, king to 2. And it looks like we move on. Alright, I need to chip away at these. Kind of a weird question, but what is your favorite of any place else. And after Trader Joe's would go like produce or whole grain stuff from your local grocery store type place, at the same time trying to save as much money as possible. So they'd probably go 4 different places and get the better priced items at each place. So I think my favorite cracker actually might be from Trader Joe's, but I have different types of crackers I prefer, which I think most people might. Well, if you ever give it thought, I should say, because I doubt you have a favorite cracker answer loaded up in your back pocket. So, oh yeah, that was already a fat stack. I think Trader Joe's had like a healthy version of Ritz crackers, which were probably that big, and they didn't taste all oily and greasy, didn't make you feel gross. Because I think that might be one, because I'd always make salami and crackers or salami, and then break off a cheese square in 2/4, just fold it twice, and put that on the cracker sometimes. And that would be my lunch. It was always so simple and nice. As it looks like this is the end to our first game, as there's nothing. Oh, wait a second. Beyond that, no other plays that we can do. So, there we go. I'll have some crackers and finish up once I clean this first game up. Okay, nothing too special. So, I consider that more of a sweet cracker, like a graham cracker, but not as out there. But when I'm thinking cracker, oh, wheat thins, reduced fat wheat thins are also nice. But even though they're not really healthy at all, they still do that same purpose. So, I began to like multi-grain crackers and garlic crackers. Kind of hard to come by. But for savory, I'd always like just those round disc crackers about that big, with some herbs and sea salt. So anything like that. Not really a cracker person, but when it comes to it, I guess that's what hits the spot. Never thought I would have that. But along with the healthy crackers, maybe I don't like crackers, because most of the crackers in my house kinda sucked. At least to a kid's taste buds. There was this cracker brand called monke, and they looked like burnt, toasted flatbreads, and they came in this yellow, bluish, like 70s, 80s neon, retro blue box. And I was like, ooh, a cracker, something salty. No salt, just crunch. And like this flaxseed base or something, if I remember correctly. And it was not a cracker for a kid to enjoy. Never had Cheez-Its or whatever these things are. So maybe that's why I don't enjoy these as much. They're not bad, but they're just kind of weird. to. So double check time. Nowhere for that 4. Nowhere for that 9. Nowhere for that 2. Nowhere for that 10. 8. 8. 2. Oh, wait a second. Bam. But then you'd repeat the pattern. Nowhere for that 5. And nowhere for that king. Very, very unlucky. At least we didn't get swept, I guess, but that's not right. So double check time already. Has to be something really nasty. Double 4s, double 3s, double 7s, double 6s, double aces, double queens, and triple aces. So not as bad as I thought, but still not good. And yes, for those of you counting my cracker consumption, I am at 28 already. Alright, so after these crackers, game 3. Oh, I have another question. How many of you had Lunchables for lunch as a kid when you went to school? I remember that was always the big thing at my school. If you had a Lunchables lunch, and I always thought it was so silly. But I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I saw some kids open up their pizzas and squeeze their sauce and put down their cheese, I was always like, you know what? I get it. I want some. Even though every time I've had it, it sucked butt, it was still better than most food served at the cafeteria. And for those of you who don't know, I am an American, so school lunches when I was a kid weren't really regulated too much, and the quality was varying by a bit. I think we had 3 plays, so we must wait for that 7. So were you a Lunchables kid? And if so, did you like them? And what was your go-to? One of my friends would always, or not always, every once in a while, they'd get a Lunchables. And they would act all smug about it, you know, with their chin up, smiling with this little jerky smirk. And whenever he was happy about that, and kind of being a jerk to other kids, I'd kind of tease him about something, nothing really serious, but you know, to get him to knock it off and stop being a jerk. Sorry for repeating jerk so much, I just have other colorful language I use to describe my friend. You know what I mean? Alright. I'm not feeling too optimistic about this game, but you know we're not gonna give up. But now, that just changed. What the heck? Better start now. for that 6. Queen. And lastly 4. Are we really on to our 4th game of the night already? That doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right at all. Anyway, let's clean this up and move on to our 4th game, I guess. Triple nines. That explains it, kind of. Okay. As we shuffle up these cards, it's time to give these Cheez-Its a rating. I think they're Cheez-Its. They could be, oh no, I always get those brands confused. So flavor, they have a nice little zest, I guess, if that's what you want to describe it as. I like savory. It's savory at first, but I don't like how when you keep chewing, they become sweet. I know that's part of the natural process of the enzymes in your mouth breaking down starches. But when it's something like a Cheez-It, it shouldn't be that sweet. I bet you they've added a fair amount of sugar to their crackers, and I don't think that should be a thing unless it's meant to be, like a graham cracker. But it's marketed as salty, so it had a good initial taste, but that sweetness is offsetting. Texture, very crunchy. Drier than a regular cracker. That would be a funny quote. Drier than a regular cracker. If I could make t-shirts, I would make that into a t-shirt. Very aggressive crunch. Like you're biting like week old bread. Don't ask me how I know that. And it's an unusual experience, at least for me. Something I would not pursue again. I'd rather just buy myself a protein bar than instead of buying a $4 to $6 box of this. But all that being said, it's not worse than like a saltine cracker. It's actually considerably better in several aspects, but unusual. So I think we'll land at a 6.5 for these Cheez-It Grooves Ranch concoction of human engineered and processed food. Yeah. Wow, we really cannot escape our triplet curse. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Double triplets. Isn't that called a sextet? Someone let me know. Please feel free to point out. I'm a dum-dum. And when you know it, that's the end of our 4th game. I bet you have a triplet in our hand. 1 king, I think it's the kings. Now we're for that 5, 9, 6. The 2nd king. Oh, I guess not, and a 3. So, already on to our final game of the night. Somebody save us from these unsatisfying games. Our streak is still continuing. It feels like, as we have double 4s, double kings, double jacks, triple jacks, another triplet, triple 4s, another triplet. So we had, what, triple queens and triple 6s, I think. Triple 5s. That is treatment. Went to jury duty today. That was annoying. Alright, game number 5. 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I actually have something I wanted to share that was annoying about jury duty that I want to hear your thoughts on. If you're still awake, of course. Well, I guess I won't get a chance to share it because we're already done. Here we go. Nowhere for that jack. Nowhere for that 3. Nowhere for that 4. Nowhere for that 8. Nowhere for that 4. Nowhere for that 6. Nowhere for that 9. And nowhere for that 10. You know what? Instead of posting a negative comment about tonight's games, comment mashed potatoes, and we'll know. We will all know. Here we go. Show me the bad. Double 8s. Double aces. Double 6s. Double 7s. Triple aces. Double 9s. Double 5s. Double queens. And double 2s. Yeah. Damn. Well, alright then. You know what? I'll still share the story. So, for my non-American viewers or people under 18 in the United States, once you're over 18 years old, in the US, you are required to fulfill your civic or civil duty of jury service, or jury duty, whichever your jurisdiction beckons it. So, it's a lottery system to where typically at least once a year, not once a year, but once every year at most, you are entered into the lottery to then decide if you will be a juror or not. So they call you into your city's courthouse or county's courthouse and decide if they want you to serve on their jury trial. So I got summoned upon, and it's usually considered a pain in the butt for most people, and everyone finds their way to get out of it. Some people take a lot of pride in going to jury duty, but for most people who are just trying to live their life and get by, it is a bit of a hassle. So you get paid, or I'm at $5 for a day, which could be up to 10 hours of jury service, plus 39 cents a mile. Yeah, that makes sense, right? So you could work a week for your city, and you could get paid about not even $30. And depending where you're at, your city, you may feel or may not feel is adequately serving their citizens, so do with that as you will. But anyway, I went in a jury, and typically they provide free parking to the jurors, and on the jury summons card you get in the mail, it tells you where you're allowed to park without paying a fee or any types of parking, because it could take a whole day or several days. So I went to the parking selected spot designated on the card. I went to the jury website to see where I can and can't park to avoid paying a fee. Because the previous time I went into a designated spot, but still ended up paying a fee. And I went to this designated spot, no issues, got in, got out, got a parking spot fairly quickly because someone just left. So I thought, awesome, once everything's done, I'll either be a juror or I'll be done and go back home or do my errands fairly quickly. And by the way, they don't tell you when they'll need you. It could be any day of the week in the selected time frame. So that's just another little minor annoyance. So I go in and I leave because I'm not selected because there are a lot of people there. Go to the parking garage, and as I'm leaving I get my ticket. And they say, where did you park? And I just said, oh, just right here, like on a certain side. So when I said that, it was a nice older Asian lady who was like, oh, no problem, just make sure you don't park there next time because you could be fined. I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that because this is the selected spot and there's no specification until I got into the jury room where it said you could only park on the 3rd, 4th, or 5th floor of the parking garage, and I was on the 1st. And you can trust me when there was no notice on the card or anywhere on their website where that was specified. So when I was leaving, a second clerk came up and said, yeah, with more of an attitude, if you were to stay there and someone were to catch you, they would fine you like $500 to $600. And that kind of pissed me off because I did what I was supposed to do. I was doing something for the city, technically, and they wanted to fine me for doing what they instructed me to do so. And I got to a point where I couldn't change my decisions without interfering with my jury service. Once they informed me during jury service, I wasn't allowed to park there. So that rubbed me the wrong way. Let me know what you think of that. But besides all of that, I hope you have yourself a relaxing remainder of your night. Many sweet dreams. Stay awesome, all of you beautiful people. And until we meet